Life today rushes past like the wind. Every morning, we wake up with a long list of plans, tasks, and responsibilities. Sometimes, we get so caught up in this flow that we forget to appreciate the simple yet precious things around us, the warmth of the morning sun, the gentle breeze on our skin, or even just a delicious meal shared with loved ones. But have you ever asked yourself, have I truly lived each moment? Or have I simply passed through life without truly experiencing it? Maybe it's time for us to take a pause, a moment to step back and realize that each day is not just a series of repetitive tasks, but an opportunity to embrace life more deeply. And one of the most powerful ways to do that is through mindfulness and gratitude. Did you know that by simply slowing down, you can discover so many beautiful things in life? When you drink a cup of tea, do you truly taste its delicate sweetness? When you walk, do you notice the steady ground beneath your feet? When you're with loved ones, do you give them your full attention? Or is your mind occupied with something else? Mindfulness is the key that brings us back to the present moment, to the small yet invaluable things that we may have overlooked. And through this awareness, we learn to appreciate even the simplest aspects of life, our breath, our health, and the love and connection we share with others. Imagine this. If you could take just one moment each day to truly appreciate what's happening around you, wouldn't your life feel lighter, more meaningful? Have you ever experienced a moment that made you feel truly grateful? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Part 1. The Broken Cup, a lesson from a Zen master. One day, a renowned Zen master who lived on a remote mountain was invited to teach a group of young disciples. He was known for his deep wisdom and often taught about mindfulness and gratitude in daily life. During the lecture, he held up a porcelain cup and asked his students, "Do you see this cup? Do you think it is beautiful?" The disciples glanced at each other and then replied in unison, "Yes, Master, it is a very beautiful cup." The Zen master smiled, slowly poured water into the cup, and took a sip. Then, he gently placed the cup on the table and said, "To me, this cup is already broken." The disciples looked at each other in confusion. One of them spoke up, "But Master, the cup is still intact. Why do you say it is already broken?" The Zen master calmly explained, "I know that one day, this cup will fall and shatter, or perhaps it will chip, or simply grow old with time. But because I have already accepted this truth, I can truly appreciate every moment it remains whole. Every time I drink from this cup, I feel joy because I know it is not permanent. I do not fear losing it, for I am already grateful for its presence in this moment." The disciples fell silent, deep in thought. One of them whispered, "Are you saying that, if we practice mindfulness and appreciate everything now, we will not suffer when we lose them?" The Zen master nodded. "Exactly. When you are grateful for every moment you have with a loved one, you will not regret it when they are gone. When you appreciate your health, you will live joyfully instead of worrying about illness. When you understand that everything in this world is impermanent, you will no longer fear loss. Instead, you will learn to live each moment to the fullest. This is the true secret of happiness." The disciples bowed their heads, their hearts filled with newfound understanding. Part 2. Gratitude and Mindfulness, the Secret to Happiness. Mindfulness and gratitude are deeply interconnected, forming a profound foundation for a fulfilling life. At their core, both practices invite us to engage fully with the present moment, appreciating what is rather than longing for what could be. Consider the simple act of drinking a cup of tea. If we drink it hastily, distracted by our thoughts or external concerns, we barely register its taste, warmth, or the sense of relaxation it could offer. It becomes just another habitual act, something to be done rather than experienced. But when we approach this act with mindfulness, something shifts. Each sip transforms into a profound encounter with the present moment. And in that awareness, gratitude naturally arises. To understand this connection, we must first explore what mindfulness truly means. Mindfulness is the practice of bringing one's attention to the present moment with openness and curiosity. Free from judgment, it is about being fully engaged in whatever we are doing, experiencing it with all our senses. When we drink tea mindfully, we are not just consuming a beverage, we are fully present with its warmth in our hands. The intricate dance of flavors on our tongue, the comforting steam rising from the cup. We are not thinking about the next task on our to-do list or dwelling on past regrets. We are simply there, immersed in the experience of drinking tea. This depth of presence naturally gives rise to gratitude. When we become fully aware of something, we begin to see it in a new light. That cup of tea is no longer just a routine drink. It is a culmination of countless efforts and conditions that made it possible. The tea leaves were grown and harvested by farmers who dedicated their labor to the craft. The water that brews the tea has traveled through natural cycles, sustained by the earth. The person who prepared the tea, whether ourselves or another, brought care and intention to the act. The very ability to sit and enjoy a cup of tea, free from urgent concerns, is itself a privilege. When we see these layers of interconnectedness, gratitude arises effortlessly. This illustrates how mindfulness is not just about paying attention but about shifting our perception of life. It helps us recognize the extraordinary within the ordinary, and in doing so, cultivates a deep sense of appreciation. When we are mindless, we take things for granted because we are not truly seeing them. We eat without tasting, listen without hearing, live without being fully present. Life then feels like a blur of experiences, none of which truly touch us. But when we engage with mindfulness, we see the intricate beauty in simple moments, and gratitude follows as a natural response. Gratitude, in turn, reinforces mindfulness. When we actively cultivate gratitude, we train our minds to notice the good in our lives, which brings us back to the present moment. Instead of always chasing after something more, we learn to recognize the abundance that already exists. This creates a positive cycle. Mindfulness deepens gratitude, and gratitude strengthens mindfulness. Together, they anchor us in the richness of life. Beyond individual experiences, this connection between mindfulness and gratitude shapes our overall sense of well-being. A life driven by constant striving, always reaching for the next achievement, possession, or milestone, often leaves us feeling unfulfilled, as we are never fully satisfied with what we have. In contrast, when we embrace mindfulness and gratitude, we shift from a mindset of lack to one of abundance. We realize that fulfillment is not something to be attained in the future but something that exists in the here and now. This shift is especially powerful in how we relate to challenges. Often, we resist difficulties, wishing them away or allowing them to dominate our thoughts. But mindfulness teaches us to meet each experience with presence, and gratitude helps us find meaning even in hardship. Consider a difficult conversation with a loved one. If we approach it mindlessly, we might react impulsively, driven by emotion rather than awareness. But if we practice mindfulness, we listen deeply, noticing not just the words but also the emotions behind them. And if we bring gratitude into the moment, we may recognize that even conflict is an opportunity for understanding and growth. Instead of seeing the challenge as something to escape, we see it as part of the richness of life. Similarly, mindfulness and gratitude shift how we engage with time. In a world that constantly pushes us to plan for the future or dwell on the past, mindfulness reminds us that life is happening now. Gratitude reinforces this by helping us cherish each moment rather than always looking ahead. When we truly internalize this, we stop waiting for happiness to come later and start seeing that joy is available in every breath, every interaction, every experience. We no longer postpone contentment, because we see that everything we need to be at peace is already here. Moreover, mindfulness and gratitude reshape our relationships. Often, we interact with others on autopilot, not truly seeing them or appreciating their presence. But when we cultivate mindfulness, we bring our full attention to our interactions. We listen without distraction. We notice the subtleties of emotion, and we become more compassionate. Gratitude then amplifies this awareness, allowing us to appreciate others for who they are rather than what they do for us. Instead of focusing on their shortcomings, we recognize their kindness, their efforts, their unique presence in our lives. This deepens our connections, making relationships more meaningful and fulfilling. The practice of mindfulness and gratitude also transforms our sense of self. When we are mindless, we often become caught in narratives of inadequacy, comparing ourselves to others or dwelling on what we lack. But mindfulness helps us see ourselves with clarity and compassion, while gratitude shifts our focus from what we perceive as missing to what we already have. We begin to appreciate our own journey, our own growth, and even our own struggles, recognizing them as part of the larger picture of life. Ultimately, the profound relationship between mindfulness and gratitude is what leads to a truly fulfilling life. It is not about accumulating more but about seeing more, seeing deeply. feeling deeply, and living fully. When we drink a cup of tea mindfully, we are not just practicing a small act of awareness. We are embodying a way of living that transforms every moment. We are training ourselves to notice beauty, to appreciate what is already here, to cultivate a sense of wonder in the simplest things. And in doing so, we awaken to a life that is rich, meaningful, and whole. Thus, the invitation is simple yet transformative. Slow down, be present, and appreciate. Whether it is through a cup of tea, a shared moment with a loved one, or even the rhythm of your own breath, each experience holds the potential to deepen your sense of gratitude. When you live in this way, you realize that a fulfilled life is not something to be found elsewhere, it is something you create. Moment by moment, with mindfulness and gratitude as your guides. Part 3. 3 simple ways to cultivate gratitude through mindfulness. 1. Start your day with gratitude. Starting the day with gratitude sets the foundation for a more fulfilling and mindful life. Each morning, before getting out of bed, taking a moment to reflect on 3 things to be grateful for can shift one's entire perspective. This simple practice cultivates positivity, helping the mind focus on what is already abundant rather than what is lacking. It could be appreciation for good health, the presence of a loved one, or even the opportunity to begin a new day with fresh possibilities. By acknowledging these blessings, one develops a deeper awareness of life's richness, allowing gratitude to replace stress, anxiety, or dissatisfaction. This habit rewires the brain to recognize and cherish small yet meaningful aspects of life. Scientific studies show that practicing gratitude enhances mental well-being by increasing serotonin and dopamine levels, the neurotransmitters responsible for happiness. When a person consciously starts their day by recognizing positive elements, they are more likely to carry that mindset throughout the day, responding to challenges with resilience and a sense of abundance. Gratitude also enhances mindfulness, encouraging individuals to fully engage in the present moment rather than being preoccupied with future concerns or past regrets. Moreover, gratitude fosters a sense of connection and appreciation for the people and circumstances in one's life. Recognizing the support of loved ones or simply being grateful for another day encourages deeper emotional well-being and fulfillment. This practice, when done consistently, transforms not only the way one views life but also how one interacts with others. It promotes kindness, patience, and a profound understanding of life's fleeting yet beautiful nature. 2. Appreciate the smallest things. Happiness is often mistaken for grand achievements or extraordinary events, but true fulfillment lies in the smallest moments we frequently take for granted. The warmth of a room on a cold day, the refreshing shade on a hot afternoon, or the first sip of morning tea. These seemingly insignificant experiences hold the essence of genuine contentment. When one learns to appreciate these simple joys, life becomes richer, more meaningful, and deeply fulfilling. The ability to recognize and cherish these moments stems from mindfulness, the practice of being fully present and engaged in the now, instead of constantly chasing after future accomplishments or dwelling on past regrets. Shifting awareness to the small yet profound experiences of everyday life cultivates a sense of gratitude and peace. Scientific research supports this idea, showing that people who regularly acknowledge and savor small pleasures report higher levels of happiness and overall well-being. The brain adapts to what it repeatedly experiences, meaning that when individuals make a habit of appreciating the little things, they train their minds to focus on positivity and abundance rather than dissatisfaction and lack. This shift in perspective also fosters emotional resilience, making it easier to navigate life's inevitable challenges with a sense of balance and composure. Moreover, appreciating small moments deepens one's connection with the world and others. A simple smile from a stranger, the sound of birds singing in the morning, or the feeling of a soft breeze on the skin can be reminders of life's beauty. When one stops expecting happiness to come from external achievements and instead finds joy in ordinary experiences, every day becomes an opportunity to live with gratitude, presence, and a profound sense of peace. 3. Keep a gratitude journal. Keeping a gratitude journal is a powerful practice that cultivates mindfulness and shifts one's focus from negativity to appreciation. By taking a moment each evening to write down one thing to be grateful for, individuals train their minds to recognize and acknowledge the positive aspects of their lives. No matter how small, This simple habit reinforces the idea that even on the most challenging days, there is always something worth cherishing. Whether it is a kind gesture from a stranger, a meaningful conversation, or the ability to witness a beautiful sunset. Gratitude journaling helps to reframe one's perspective and develop a greater sense of emotional resilience. Psychological research indicates that consistent gratitude journaling leads to increased happiness, reduced stress, and improved overall well-being. The brain naturally tends to focus on problems, but by deliberately recording moments of gratitude, individuals gradually rewire their thought patterns, fostering a more optimistic outlook. This practice does not require monumental experiences. In fact, the more one learns to appreciate small daily blessings, the easier it becomes to find joy in ordinary life. Over time, gratitude journaling transforms how individuals engage with their experiences, making them more present, appreciative, and aware of the beauty in the mundane. Beyond personal benefits, this habit also strengthens relationships. Expressing gratitude regularly encourages deeper connections, as acknowledging the kindness of others fosters empathy and emotional warmth. By keeping a record of positive moments, individuals build a repository of happiness to reflect on, especially during difficult times. Instead of allowing hardships to overshadow the good, gratitude journaling acts as a reminder that joy and appreciation can always be found. Creating a mindset that embraces life with openness and fulfillment. Part 4. The Bag of Seeds, a lesson on gratitude. Long ago, a wise Zen master lived in a small temple on a mountaintop. He was known for his deep wisdom and often taught his disciples about the importance of gratitude. One day, a young disciple came to him with a troubled expression. "Master, I feel like life is dull. Every day seems the same, and there's nothing for me to be grateful for." The Zen master remained silent for a moment, then gently handed the young man a small bag filled with seeds. "Carry this bag with you every day. Whenever you feel grateful for something, no matter how small, take one seed and place it in a box. After a week, come back and see me." The disciple followed the master's instructions. Though he was skeptical, on the first day, he found nothing to be grateful for. But on the second day, while walking, he noticed the cool breeze relieving the heat of the afternoon, and he placed a seed in the box. On the third day, a stranger helped him pick up a book he had dropped, so he added another seed. Slowly, he began paying attention to things he had never noticed before: a delicious meal, a friend's smile, the sound of birds singing in the morning. Each time he recognized a moment of gratitude, he placed another seed in the box. After a week, he returned to the Zen master, bringing a box full of seeds. With a look of amazement, he said, "Master, I never realized that there were so many things to be grateful for every day. Before, I thought I had nothing, but now I see that every moment is a gift." The Zen master smiled and said, "Do you see? Life is never lacking in things to appreciate. Only the mind fails to notice them. When you train yourself to acknowledge these moments, the world around you becomes filled with goodness. If you continue writing down one thing you are grateful for every day, just as you placed seeds in the box, your heart will never feel empty. Gratitude will always fill it." From that day forward, the young disciple began keeping a gratitude journal. He soon realized that happiness was not something distant but rather how one perceives life. Conclusion. Right now, let's try something simple. Close your eyes. Take a deep breath, and think of one thing you are truly grateful for in this moment. It could be something big or small, something recent or long-standing. It could be the love of someone special, the air filling your lungs, or even the simple comfort of where you are right now. Can you feel the warmth of gratitude filling your heart? Gratitude is not just a fleeting emotion, it is a mindset. A way of seeing the world with a sense of wonder and appreciation. When we pause to acknowledge what we already have, we shift from a state of wanting to a state of contentment. The smallest moments, a gentle breeze, a smile from a stranger, the aroma of freshly brewed tea, become gifts, reminding us that happiness is always within reach. In practicing mindfulness and gratitude, we are not just improving our own well-being, we are also creating a ripple effect in the world around us. When we appreciate life's blessings, we naturally become kinder, more patient, and more compassionate. Our relationships deepen, our worries lose their grip, and we begin to live with greater presence and fulfillment. As you move forward, carry this awareness with you. Each day is an opportunity to find something to be grateful for. No matter how ordinary it may seem, start your mornings with appreciation, savor the smallest joys, and end your day by reflecting on what made it meaningful. If you make gratitude a habit, you will begin to see life differently, not as something to rush through, but as something to cherish. If this video resonated with you, don't forget to hit like and subscribe so you won't miss more meaningful content. And now, I'd love to hear from you. Share in the comments. What are you grateful for today?